You know the ritual. 2 minutes, circular motions, spit, rinse. Do not eat or drink for the next 30 minutes. That is the golden rule of oral hygiene. Once the teeth are clean, you seal the environment, you protect the work. To put food in your mouth right now is a sin.
This is why xylitol hasn't always been fully appreciated.
A new study finds a sugar substitute may help reduce tooth decay in children.
If immediately you have xylitol, the minerals are replenished and your teeth will stay young, strong, healthy.
Xylitol.
Xylitol will stick to the teeth, so the bacteria will not adhere to the tooth.
They'll be as white as nature intended your teeth to be.
In the nearly year-long study, the children who took xylitol syrup twice a day had nearly 2 times less tooth decay than those who didn't. Researchers say it's a breakthrough since 28% of U.S. toddlers and preschoolers have cavities.
I'm going to try this xylitol gum right now because this gum is not for freshening your breath, because this gum in Japan is not a contradiction. This is a prescription. In Tokyo, millions of people chew a specific type of gum immediately after brushing their teeth. It's sold in pharmacies. It's recommended by dentists. It's a massive multi-million-dollar sector of their health economy. But here in the West and every other else, this product is stranded in the candy aisle. It's right next to the Skittles and the Snickers. We treat it like a vice. They treat it like a vaccine.
みんな、キシリトールホワイトしてる？
ホワイトしてます。ホワイト噛んでます。ホワイトしてません。
え？いつも輝く笑顔に。
So here's the mystery. If this medical gum actually works, if the science says it starves bacteria and reverses tooth decay.
Anyways, so I go back to dentist. We do the x-rays and I'm like, oh, he's going to tell me about the stupid cavities and I haven't done the research. I've never seen this before, but your cavities are gone. And I said, the only thing that I did that I could think of is like my obsessive xylitol gum chewing. so I feel...
Why were you never told about this? The answer isn't a conspiracy. It's not that the science is hidden. The answer is actually much more disturbing. It's about money.
One thing has remained constant: the Wrigley's brand name. In 2020, the gum industry's market value hit $18.6 billion, and since 2015, Wrigley's held about 26% of the global brand share for chewing gum and a 40% hold in the US.
Before we get to the economics, we have to talk about the biology, because if you don't understand how this works, the rest of the story sounds like it's magic. And it's not magic, it's warfare. This is the Streptococcus mutans. This is the guy responsible for your cavities. He lives on your teeth and he is hungry. Specifically, he is hungry for 6 carbon sugars: sucrose, glucose, fructose. When you eat a bagel or a candy bar, he eats 2. He ferments that sugar and poops out acid. Enter xylitol. This looks like sugar. It tastes like sugar. Your tongue literally cannot tell the difference, but structurally, it's a trick. Sugar is a 6-carbon molecule. Xylitol is a 5-carbon molecule. Here's the genius of the mechanism. The bacteria sees the xylitol. It thinks, yum, lunch. It consumes it. But because of that missing carbon atom, the bacteria cannot digest it. It can't derive energy from it. But here's the kicker, it also can't spit it out. The xylitol clogs the bacteria's metabolic gears. The bacteria spends all its energy trying to digest this indigestible rock. It starves to death with a full stomach. But instead of ending up in your medicine cabinet, xylitol ended up in obscurity. Why? Because while xylitol is so great for your teeth, it is absolutely terrible for a business. To understand why we don't use this, you have to understand the gum economy. If you are the CEO of a major gum company, you care about 2 metrics. 1. Margin. 2. Flavor duration. But the cost isn't even the biggest problem. The problem is the clock. I just put this piece of pure xylitol gum in my mouth. It tastes great. It tastes sweet. It has a cooling effect. But watch what happens. 1 minute, and that's it. Because xylitol is highly soluble, it dissolves instantly in saliva. The flavor rush is intense, and then it's gone. And this is where the psychology kicks in.
Pavlovian conditioning was discovered by Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov in the 1890s. He was studying dog digestion and observed that they began to salivate to a neutral stimulus.
We have been Pavlovian conditioned to believe that clean has a feeling. We think Listerine works because it burns. We think toothpaste works because the mint is intense. If it doesn't hurt, we don't think it's working. But xylitol doesn't burn, it doesn't sting, it just works. So because it didn't feel like medicine, we treated it like a candy. And because the flavor died in 60 seconds, we treated it like a bad candy. So the Western gum giants, the Wrigley's, the Mondelez, they look at the Turku studies, they saw the health benefits, but they also saw a product that didn't fit the subscription model of the modern food industry.
Civilizations like the Aztecs and Mayans would chew gum for medicinal and social reasons. But by the mid-1800s, gum started to take its modern-day shape. Sales of Wrigley's gum saw a jump from $170,000 in 1907 to $3 million in 1910. Wrigley solidified itself as the nation's top-selling gum brand.
He's busy thinking about advertising, and advertising went into money. So now he's thinking about money. He's telling people about finance, and he created this empire.
Modern food is engineered for velocity. Gum, chips, soda, it's all designed for us to consume more and more. Sometimes to the point of literal subscriptions, but we'll talk about that in a different video. But xylitol gum, it's the opposite. This is a medical gum that breaks the cycle of consumption. You chew it to stop the decay. You chew it to avoid the dentist. It's a product that if it works perfectly, it makes you need the industry less. And that scares them.
Gum faced declining public interest, as younger consumer groups are a lot less interested in purchasing gum than generations before. There's been very little change in innovation regarding gum, with younger consumers finding innovative snacks with bolder flavors, replacing their need for gum.
So big companies made a commercial decision. They deprioritize it. They stuck to what sells, sugar and long-lasting artificial sweeteners. They sacrifice the medical benefits to save 50 cents and get 10 times more of minty flavor.
The gum market in the US started to dry up, and from 2009 to 2020, US gum sales dropped from $4.12 billion to $3.15 billion.
In the 90s, Lotte, a major confectionery conglomerate, wanted to launch xylitol gum, but they faced the same problem. It was too expensive and the flavor died too fast. So they didn't market it as fun, they marketed it as a chore. They flipped the script. They said, yes, the flavor dies fast. That's because it's doing its job.
A new study finds a sugar substitute may help reduce tooth decay in children. Sounds too good to be true? Our Andrea Canning takes a look.
The never-ending cavity war for children may now have a new ally, a natural sweetener called xylitol.
And it worked. Today, xylitol gum is a staple in Japanese pharmacies. They successfully bridged the incentive gap by changing the story. I wanted to see what will happen if I try this for 30 days. So I hacked my own brain. For the last 30 days, I've been eating this xylitol gum from Lotte. And I followed the Japanese protocol.
What will happen if I eat xylitol gum for 30 days?
Days 1 to 5, instant fresh breath. Plus, the xylitol starts kicking out cavity-causing bacteria right away. Days 10 to 15, less plaque buildup. Your teeth will feel noticeably cleaner and smoother. Days 20 and up, this is where your teeth get tough. Xylitol makes your mouth less acidic, helping your enamel get stronger and even fix tiny signs of decay. And a bonus? All that chewing can help define your jawline over time. So fresh breath, strong teeth, and a sharper look? Start your 30-day xylitol journey now.
So I went to my hygienist. I didn't tell her what I was doing. She asked if I had bought a new electric toothbrush. The plaque load was significantly lower. The friction was real. But before you go out and buy a crate of this stuff, look at this. This isn't just a safety warning. This is proof that what I'm telling you is real. Xylitol is safe for humans, but it is deadly to dogs, like chocolate. Because of a genetic quirk, a dog's body mistakes xylitol for insulin. If a 20-pound dog eats a couple of pieces of this gum, their blood sugar crashes to zero. They can go to a liver failure within 15 minutes. Think about what that means. Candy doesn't do that. Sugar doesn't do that. This compound is so biologically active that a single gram of triggers a massive systemic response in a mammal. So it is that potent. If you bring this into your home, treat it like a prescription drug. Keep it high up because this is not a candy. We like to think that the best product always wins, but the story of the gum paradox teaches us the opposite. There are medical gums for everything now. Gums that carry caffeine, gums that carry vitamins, gums that fixes your pH balance. But you have to go looking for them. You have to step out of the candy aisle. You have to realize that sometimes, to be healthy in a system designed for profit, you have to be willing to do the thing that feels wrong. Even it means eating it after you brush your teeth.
I'm a joker, I'm the clown, I'm the trickster, I'm the fool. Do you like me now? Do you like me now? In the center of the ring.